I think it's just an observation of reality.
All right, well, let's go there.
That's why he didn't.
Well, every aspect that is the observation of reality should tell you that you need to go to jail. And if they find any involvement with that money going to Somalian terrorists, you need to be charged with treason, motherfucker. That's the only reality that I see, and the fact that it hasn't happened yet makes me sick to my stomach.
That's why.
Is it racist for a government official to identify fraud?
No.
No. Is it Islamophobic?
To identify fraud?
To identify fraud?
No, I don't believe it would be.
This man has so many whistleblowers that came forward against him. It's over for him. He has had so many whistleblowers. I think the count is like 23 whistleblowers.
How come multiple whistleblowers have said that your administration told them not to say anything about widespread fraud across multiple agencies because doing so would be considered racist or Islamophobic?
I can't speak to it because it's not anything I would say.
Well, that's what your administration has said and has told whistleblowers, and as you just testified, the buck stops with you. It's what you stated in your statement whenever you announced you weren't running again.
What a fucking retard. Oh, my God.
And, Mr. Chairman, I don't know if you know this, but it's been widely reported that in 2008, when Barack Obama was choosing his vice presidential candidate, he had 3 criteria. He wanted to make sure he picked somebody that wasn't as smart as him and had less talent.
Oh my God, I know where this is going.
And charisma, and couldn't possibly outshine him, so he picked Joe Biden. And then Joe Biden in 2020 used the exact same criteria. He wanted to make sure he picked somebody who wasn't as smart as him, had less talent and charisma, and wouldn't outshine him, and he picked Kamala Harris. And then in
Everybody knows where this is going.
2024, Governor, I think it's very evident why Kamala Harris picked you.
Yo, you got to give him some points, man. He's over there laughing. That's kind of funny, yo. Like, I'm not even going to lie. That's funny. That shit's funny.
Talent pool, Mr. Chairman. Hey, Mr. Chairman, the talent pool isn't just shallow.
I got to give him some respect just laughing at it. He's like, okay, I see.
Brother,
all right.
We have hit the shore, and I yield back.
Gentleman yields back.
Great.
Chair. And, Mr. Chairman.
Honestly hilarious, yeah. Okay, where is this?
In 2017, Governor. How much money was spent on autism in Minnesota in 2017, Governor?
$1 billion.
I don't have those numbers in front of me, Congresswoman.
Did you prepare for this hearing today?
How much?
Did you do any preparation
I take
for this
Congress
hearing today?
seriously.
God. Yo. How? Holy shit.
We've seen the numbers about autism fraud in Minnesota, so we're going to do some Minnesota math with you today, okay? Are you ready?
Minnesota math. Bro, they're literally cracking an egg on this man's head and like cooking it in the sun.
Are you ready?
How much money was spent on 2017 for autism in Minnesota? How much?
I don't know. I wasn't the governor.
Okay. Did you not just say that you prepared for this hearing today? $1 million, okay? A quick Google search or using your AI could tell you $1 million was spent. How much money was spent on autism in Minnesota in 2024?
I don't have the number in front of me.
But you were the governor. But you were the governor and you don't know. The whole reason why you're there is for fraud. How do you not know any of these numbers? What's the excuse now, Baldy?
As
Were you governor in 2024?
I was, but I'm not the
Okay,
head
so
of
your
HHS.
excuse before that you didn't know what 2017 autism numbers were because you were not governor, and today you can't answer the numbers about 2024
When you were
as governor. And you still said you prepared for this hearing today. It's unbelievable. 343 million.
That is most of the government in a nutshell. When you hold one of these people liable for anything, it's always the same fucking shit. It doesn't change. It doesn't get any better. It's a bunch of fucking people that don't know anything about what's going on, even in their own states. They're there to collect money and fuck off. That's all they do.
$1 million was was spent in 2024.
So-
Look at that jump. Look at that jump in holy
By
shit.
300, that's 3,430%. That's a lot. Damn, bro. Like now, you know what? Now all those crash outs make a lot more sense.
What percent increase is that
Yeah.
from 1 million to 343 million? What percentage increase is that?
That's
I'm
a
not
lot.
here to
And
be.
you know what really sucks about that? I doubt hardly any of that money actually went to people with autism. That's the sad, sick part about that whole damn thing.
Prop. Go ahead and tell me.
Are you governor of Minnesota or not?
Yes, I am. I'm
Okay,
not.
well,
I'm
when
not.
I'm-
I'm gonna be honest.
Yep. And
I think we just need to have this guy. Like, I don't think he would have. Like, she does it in a way that's like kind of trashy. I think. It's just like it's a little bit, you know. She's okay, right? But
Governor of
for a
South
member of
Carolina,
Congress.
you can sure as hell bet
Yeah.
that I'm going to know the math. The math is 34,200% increase.
Superman?
An
Yeah.
increase of 343 times what it was in this time period. Do you know the number of children in Minnesota?
I know that Minnesota ranked as a top 3 state
Okay.
for
Wait,
children.
Like, you realize that with how many kids there are in America, there's no fucking way. There's literally no way. And with how many of them are born with autism and actually diagnosed with autism, there's no way that that amount of money could ever possibly even touch that.
The
In the
total
last year.
That means
population in
no.
Minnesota.
5.7 million.
Okay. What is the total population of children in Minnesota?
I don't have the number in front of me right
Are
now.
you governor of Minnesota?
I know 400,000 were cut out of health care last
Okay,
week by
that's
the
not-
actions you made.
Are you governor of Minnesota?
I am.
And you don't know the number of children
I
residing
don't
in
have the
Minnesota?
specific numbers.
we got to get the other guy.
I love how he was like, well, ever since you cut the funding off, there have been a lot more. And it's like, dude, they wouldn't have cut the funding off if you knew the numbers of your own state. Like, if you actually paid attention to everything and you're not in on this, then how is it that like, if he's the scapegoat, they chose one hell of an scapegoat. Guy is completely uninformed.
This girl is just wasting everybody's time.
Mr. Walz, do you believe the 70,000 strong Somali community as a whole has made a positive impact on your state?
I do.
See, this. All right, now I already know exactly where this is going.
So you'd be the opinion, fair to say, that the Somali community has successfully assimilated and is making Minnesota better?
Yeah, I believe they're on that path, yes.
They're on that path. So this is another qualifying term to like hedge your bet of saying that it's obviously, because they're obviously not, right? They're obviously not assimilated.
Yeah.
They're obviously not making Minnesota better.
No, like whenever Nick Shirley did his videos for the Minneapolis Somalian, you can say that it wasn't just Somalian people that were doing this, but from the video that I saw, it was all Somalians. I mean, a lot of them that were locked up are incarcerated now, or if they weren't incarcerated, deported, were Somalians that were doing this daycare fraud. These people never came into Minnesota to assimilate. They had their own mall that Nick Shirley was ran out of that looked like some kind of crazy backwater building. It had like different individual like centers in it. It had like a fucking slushy station. It was obviously it was like a hideout almost. That's kind of what it looked like, but it was like a Somalian strip mall. That's what it looked like. You can't tell me that allowing these people to come into Minnesota and congregating and changing the areas around them is good for the community. I'm sorry, but it's not. If this was a satanic fucking church that was doing the same thing, all hell on earth would be breaking loose in Minneapolis right now. This is completely unacceptable, regardless of your religion, regardless of your race, regardless of where you're from. If you move to a different country, you refuse to learn the language and the laws, you refuse to assimilate with the people and the culture, and you refuse to get a job and pay into the tax system so you're not just a burden on the welfare systems, you need to find somewhere else to go because we cannot afford you. We can't. No country can. And a lot of these politicians that are in these other countries that are lying to their people, telling them that they can, are going to run out of welfare before they know it. There's going to be a lot of old people, a lot of veterans, and a lot of fucking people that aren't going to have insurance. They're not going to be able to withdraw money. There's going to be a lot of people that are on the spectrum that are no longer going to have money to be able to stay home. They're going to have to live with their parents. They're going to have to live with their family, and their family's going to have to pay for all their medical bills because of this. If this is what you want, we're well on our way to doing it. But if not, this needs to stop.
Right. So that they're on that path.
I'm just curious by what metric you come to that conclusion. I just looked at some hard
By what
data.
metric?
And do you have any idea what percentage of the native-born Minnesotans, all races, live in poverty in your state right now?
I don't have specifically.
I'll share it with you. It's
Like,
8%.
It's so bad. You have, for example, like in California, you have an immigrant who migrated here legally, went through the headache, pain in the ass process to migrate to America, living in a tent with his son and his wife. What the actual fuck are we doing? On Skid Row, one of the most dangerous places in America to live. On Skid Row. Like,
So 52% of them are poor. That's insane.
Food stamps.
I don't know.
All right, I'll run it down with you. It's 7%, and then compared to 54% in the Somali community, and then
look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at all the benefits these people have. Look at that. That's crazy. Food stamps, 54%. Below poverty line, 52%. This is just the poor Somalians. No HS diploma, 39% Medicaid participants, 73% welfare. Dude, that's crazy.
don't have it.
And this is just in Minnesota. Keep in mind, this is just in Minnesota.
School diploma for all Minnesotans. It's 5%. Somali
39% can't even fucking graduate high school? Are you kidding me? Oh my God.
community, it's 39%. One family member at least on Medicaid. It's
But remember,
18.
guys, they're not getting any welfare, right? They're not getting any. That's the bullshit argument that I keep getting fed in a lot of comments, even in like the live streams when we were covering the Minneapolis thing. They're not getting welfare. There's no way. What the fuck is this? What is this?
Percent for Minnesota, 73% for the Somali community, and receiving welfare of some form, it's 21%, and that's 81%.
And you wonder why they're saying that we're not going to have Social Security by the year 2035. That's why, right there. That's the reason.
No, don't say it, guys. You can't say that. Because
And it's not even just the Somali population. It's any of these illegals or these people that are coming in that don't have jobs and are putting strain on the systems in the states they live in. That's all, like, any of them. Any of these illegals. Any of these actual, like, immigrants that don't have a job and are using welfare. They are straining the system.
Twitter got really mad at me for saying that.
Governor, do you happen to know what the percentage is of all those who have currently been charged in this staggering social services fraud scheme were native-born Minnesotans? What percentage?
I do not have that.
I think it was 85 out of 98, which comes out to 13% Minnesotan and 87% Somali Minnesotan.
Not good.
So I think this is an instance, perhaps, of where woke gets slapped by data. Governor, there's been billions stolen over 7+ years right under your nose, and really there's only two explanations. It's either
I think the speculation comes off the table when you're sitting in front of the court. Like, let's be honest here. When you're sitting in front of a jury like this, in front of court, you're no longer speculating. These are the facts that they've pulled up and put on the screen. Like, it's not subjective. It's not speculation. This is what a jury of peers has come to a decision on and put here. Like, this is the facts. This is the truth. You guys want the truth? Here's the fucking truth. This isn't being spun off by some crazy person on the internet. This is being put out in front of everybody in the government. This is the government.
Or you weren't smart enough to see it.
No, I think that what happened is that he let it happen because he was worried that by cutting down and coming down on the Somalians that were scamming, that he might lose their vote. So what he decided to do instead of that was to just kind of ignore it and let it happen on its own. Like, basically, and this is the Democrat strategy, right, is that they effectively allow fraud from minority communities to happen, and then they look at and then they do that in order to effectively bribe them into voting for the Democrats that allow the fraud to continue.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, because they're allowing the fraud categorically from different immigrant groups and different minority groups, any sort of criticism towards those immigrant groups or minority groups is reframed as racism and then disregarded.
Yep.
That's the strategy that they're using. So they're effectively, bribing them to vote for them indirectly by not enforcing the law. That's that's the strategy they're using. It's pretty obvious.
Either criminal negligence or wild incompetence.
Willful
And
ignorance,
The
yes.
only way this kind of fraud can reach this scale is if there's people in power
in
that
on
are
it.
colluding and collaborating
he's
and
ignoring.
willfully blinding themselves to the realities around them. And in oversight, when
that's
we
fair.
do investigations, it's rare for us to have whistleblowers because they face retribution and punishment and resentment, and they can be ostracized, and it's difficult and it's uncomfortable, and sometimes it's even dangerous. So when we have when we're having investigation and we have even a couple of whistleblowers, it's very valuable to us because they provide.
Why can't they sue him, forcing Discover to have proof? Oh, I think they should go all the way. And I think that if they knew that he was allowing that to happen, I think they should charge him for treason or sedition. Because the money that was basically reallocated to Somalia funded Al-Shabaab, which is a terrorist organization. So Tim Walz indirectly allowed a terrorist organization to be funded by the American taxpayer, and he did so willingly and knowingly. And I think if that's the case, I think he should be tried for treason. Absolutely.
I absolutely agree with that. There's no reason that you have that much money being sent through your state and being sent to a terrorist organization and you don't face repercussions for that. There should not be a world where we live in where if you knew what was going on, you don't get charged for treason.
Like, there has to start,
if he knew,
start being real punishments for this type of behavior. And like, I mean, real, like, serious personal consequences. Like, not you get fined, not you get fired. Oh, a lot worse.
Invaluable insight. Do you have any idea how many whistleblowers are working from Minnesota are working with the Oversight Committee?
A lot.
I do not. We have our own strong protections in the OLA, the independent.
Well, and it's 30.
Apparently not good enough.
I mean, I haven't
30.
seen that in 5+ years in Congress.
So he got 30 people roaching out on him.
30.
why should Trump, you're probably going to get permabanned. Why the hell should Trump be charged with treason? Do you have any argument? You have any proof? Do you have anything that links him to a foreign country other than him being a president? What proof do you have? What allegation are you trying to make that Trump should be charged with treason? Anthony Brown. I want to hear this. This has to be good, right? Surely this is going to be good. Well, that's misinformation. They sold the planes to Qatar and they trained them how to fly them, so that's bullshit. That was debunked. We actually covered that. If you've been watching, you would know that, but you haven't. You just want to make false comments. Anthony Brown is an idiot. Was it all chopped up here? Lost his voice. Hills in Russia. Matter of fact, I don't know anything about that. That sounds like bullshit to me. Anthony Brown is an idiot. Voters, blah blah blah. Well, I'm just gonna go ahead and permaban you because you're retarded. January 6th did happen, and an Air Force veteran was shot and killed on January 6th. If you know anything, you would know that those dumbasses on Capitol Hill don't want to talk about that. Yes, a United States Air Force veteran was shot and killed by riot police on January 6th. But we're not going to talk about the insurrection that Tim Walz pushed into Minneapolis, right? About how he wouldn't even acknowledge that federal agents are a higher form of police because they enforce the federal government and what they want. We're not going to talk about that, right? Sure. Whatever floats your boat, guy, but go float that bitch somewhere else because it sank here. Permanently. Enjoy your perma.
Governor, on September 16th, 2020.
That's pretty bad, bro. 30. Oh my God. People do anything for personal gain to stop it. Yeah, I think that's exactly what you have to do. You've got to go after those people. And I feel like once you do that for a couple of people, then it stops.
We are staying on Capitol Hill, folks, and there is Governor Tim Mace. Let's listen in.
How much money was...
I'm not going to listen to that audio.
Started. The payments are...
ICE agents have the ability to arrest police officers if they commit a felony in front of them. They're higher than the police.
Are restarted. Why didn't you tell the truth about why you restarted the payments?
Well, Chairman, we did tell you. And Feeding Our Future grew because of the pandemic. And
I didn't ask that question. I said,
I don't know. Like, prior to the Epstein stuff, because that was the only thing a lot of these idiots had to go on, prior to 2016 and him getting elected, I don't know why the fuck, they see orange and they immediately think bad. I don't get it. Obama ran on the same immigration policies that Trump did. I don't understand it. Obama had 8 years in office. I don't get it. I don't understand where this negative. You can't even complain that it was the immigration policies. Obama ran for 8 years on the same fucking policies. Obama gave the fucking border czar a motherfucking medal. Where is this coming from? I don't get it. It's just a bunch of brain dead idiots that don't know anything about America trying to speak on America's behalf and tell you what your fucking Constitution says. Well, it doesn't float here. We may live in a... Here's the line that you should remember before you type something in chat. We live in a democracy, but on this goddamn channel, it's a dictatorship. And I enforce it.
why didn't you tell the truth about why you restarted the payments? The payments stopped because there were concerns, obviously, it wouldn't stop the payments. Then they're restarted a month later.
You don't like her? It's not that I don't like her. I mean, it's really the audio was bad. But yes, I do think that she's trashy, and I think that she caricatures herself, and she makes the points that she makes weaker by the way that she behaves while she expresses those points.
We live in a democracy. You're an idiot. So, let's see. It's time to start banning
What
people.
was the reason for restarting the payments?
My understanding was
I do. They never talked to me.
the agency believed
He didn't send
that-
ICE agents. He did. That's what he did. He did that. Banning you. Speech. Branded. Free speech. Tell you what, walk into your local Walmart and shout the N-word if you work there and see how well that goes for you. I'd imagine you'd be pretty jobless pretty quick, huh? You're stupid. That's a dumbass, stupid take. Shower speech? Bye. Not gonna. Truck. Oh. My hair situation is fine. I have hair, you dumb fucks. I have hair. What are you talking about? You're stupid. Nice try, though. I have the headphones on because this shit hurts my ears. I mean, I have the fucking hoodie on because it hurts my ears. You're an idiot. Brain dead is free speech. Yeah, that's fine. I don't care if saying something is brain dead is free speech. I didn't ban them for saying something is brain dead. I banned them for saying something else that was stupid in their sentence. Just so you're aware. Gotta go to work. Love your stuff, brother. Keep up. We'll tune back in later. All right, man. Well, we're probably going to be offline by then, so hit the sub button. We're here Monday through Friday. We're always here Monday through Friday, man. Unless something comes up. Fuck the world. The world really turned into the... It's time to unite and fight. I'll give you a warning. Don't post any more Juggled Wolfgang. No more talk like that. And I won't perma you. That's not what we're doing here. I'm not advocating for one side or the other. I'm 31 years old and I haven't voted for either because I'm tired of being told as an American that you have to pick between the lesser of two evils. That's not what we do here. I bring what I can to the table, present facts, react to it, and talk about it. But if you get down in the comments with fake bullshit, you're gonna get permit. You know why? Because usually people that do that, they end up going on a video and they get permit later. Most of these people are repeat offenders and they end up doing it anyway. And even if they're not, if you're getting in the comments and saying stupid shit, you need to go. We live in a democracy. We don't need to fight for anything. Vote on it. That's what a democracy is built on. And all these people that get down in the comments and they say stupid shit about our president, they say stupid shit. Hence how I didn't say Trump. Never said fucking Trump. Our president, they talk shit about our culture. They want to bring up some stupid slavery shit that came up that was here 200, 300 years ago that had nothing to do with our generation. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. You're not going to use your fucking ideology here. You're not going to use your bullshit slander here. You're not going to use your fucking defamation here. You're not going to bring your fucking your fake news here. You can go somewhere else. This isn't the channel for you. I promise you, you won't like it here. You probably won't be here for very long, but you won't like it here. That much I can promise you.
The court had required them to make those payments.
And that was false, wasn't it? You repeated that. You said that.
The fuck is this? I'm not doing that. I'm trying to figure out what that says. Let me see what that says. I don't know what that says. I have no idea what that says, right? No idea what the fuck that says, man. I wish I could translate that, but I can't. So let's move on.
Didn't you? You
I
said that's
don't
why the
think-
reason you said the reason you restarted is because the court ordered you to do so. Is that right?
I don't believe that is settled yet, to the best of my knowledge.
Well, I think it is, because the court did something that I just don't. I don't know if I've ever seen it. They issued a statement saying you were wrong in what you were saying. This is from the court. It says, Feeding Our Future versus Minnesota Department of Education, correcting reports and statements by Governor Tim Walz concerning orders issued by the court. Here's what the judge says. Governor Tim Walz told the media that the Minnesota Department of Education attempted in payments to FOF because of possible fraud.
I tried that, like, translate says, but it was being fucky, so I don't know.
But that
that.
Judge
It didn't work.
Guthman ordered payments to continue in April
at his
2021. Next sentence. That is false. So you said something that wasn't true. He further states this, Judge Guthman, the court says this, Judge Guthman never ordered the Department of Education to resume payments to Feeding Our Future in April 2021 or at any other time.
But you have to keep in mind that this fraud is hurting so many people right now until they solve this, because they have to cut the funding off until they figure out what is causing this fraud and where it's coming from. What is stemming to this fraud? Because now people are going without money. People that need this money are going without. You can't sit here and have a moral argument about, well, you cut off the funding so people aren't getting it now. If you had done your job as the governor of Minnesota, you would have made sure that this wasn't going to fraudulent places, and you would have made sure that there would have been no way for this money to be cut off from those people, and you would have protected them. But because you didn't do your job, nobody has funding now. Don't blame the government for stepping in because you didn't. If you had done your part to make sure that that money was going to the families that need it, to the kids, the children that needed that money, there would have been no reason for the federal government to have stepped in and shut this down. The buck stops with Tim, and it needs to stop with Tim.
So I want to know, why didn't you tell the truth?
Congressman, the attorneys at the Department of Education interpreted that differently. Both of those judges are no longer on the bench, and I think that
the very
interpretation...
first sentence, the first 7 words. This is not some unnamed source talking to the New York Times. This is not some anonymous source talking to whatever your Minnesota Star Tribune or whatever your paper is.
Like, now that he's in front of the people that are going to crucify him, bro, you have to know what the hell you're talking about. You're going to go to jail if you keep botching this. If he keeps throwing this and pushing this like it's nothing, they're going to put his ass in jail, and they should. They should put him in jail. They should, honestly.
This is the court speaking. First sentence, first 7 words. Due to inaccurate statements by the governor, Ramsey County District Court judge has issued and authorized this following news release. That's pretty...
Can you believe that all of this happened because of a 23-year-old virgin YouTuber? Like, he set all of this into motion. This guy got obliterated by a fucking, by a Mormon virgin.
It upsets me. It upsets me to see this, because I've said in prior streams, I grew up dirt fucking poor. A lot of days we didn't even have power, we didn't have water, we didn't have shit. A lot of days went hungry. And it infuriates me to no end When I see this funding that should be going to families that fucking need it, but it's not, and now it's cut off for everybody because of their own goddamn government won't do their job, which is to make sure that this money goes to the families that need it and not to the families to make sure they have a voter base. It's disgusting. And it's fucking, it's unconstitutional. It's a disgrace to the American democracy. And it is a disgrace to every person he is supposed to be there to protect as a governor. It's a disgrace.
I mean, I've never seen something like that happen. Just crazy. David and Goliath? Yeah. Why do you have to keep saying the virgin part? Because it makes it better. That's why. It makes it better.
Straightforward. So the court's
It's not
lying?
my fault. It's the way it is.
I can't tell you, Congressman, but the
Well,
interpretation
somebody's
was
lying.
Yeah.
Somebody's lying, because you can't say the court
What?
ordered you to restart the payments, and then the court says we didn't order you to restart the payments. So either you're lying or the court's lying. And I'm just asking you, which one is it?
Yeah, who is it?
I just simply know what the attorneys at the agency believed, that it was a misinterpretation.
Could
And
it
I would
be-
note that those
Could
payments...
it be you were trying to hide behind the court, Governor? Could that maybe be the reason
The
why?
thing is that, again, he has an argument. He's not using it. The real argument he should be using is that, you know, a inaccuracy does not imply a lie. It just means that we could have gotten something wrong. That doesn't mean that I lied. Like, I don't know why he doesn't say that. Rather than like this weird fucking like, you know, like this meandering bullshit.
You issued the statements you did, and what?
He's doing the same thing that Iran did. He's doing the exact same thing that Iran and Maduro did. They're not taking the United States government serious. It's because these people have been allowed to run a ball game on Congress, on the Democrats and the Republican, on people in general. And this administration's not fucking around with this, and these people need to start taking this more serious. That's what I really see here. I see a man that is not taking this serious at all. Oh yeah, I showed up prepared. You just lied under oath. You just lied under oath. Like, what are you doing? You're not prepared at all for this. You don't have any of the statistics. You don't know how much money is going anywhere. You don't have anything. You don't have any information whatsoever. You're just sitting there with this smug look on your face and just taking it up the ass. Like, what are we doing here?
The court had
What
to do
idiot.
something you
'Cause
never
he's
see
dumb,
done before. They issue
I
a press
guess.
statement saying
I don't think he's dumb. I genuinely think he doesn't care. And the sad part is to an extent, he's not going to face a single damn day in jail. That's the saddest part about it, is like, he may actually be right for not taking this shit seriously.
wrong. The governor is wrong.
They need to make an example out of Tim Walz, man. They need to figure out if any of this leads back to, if he knew about it, they need to put him in treason. They need to give him the death sentence. They do. If you are taking millions of dollars from homeless people, from people that need that money or they died on the streets, you need to be charged for treason. You need to be given the death penalty. You do. This is crazy. These people, and then like what happened in Minneapolis, where he wasn't acknowledging that the ICE agents had the ability to do what they were doing. People died because of that. The American people should not allow this. This is crazy.
Their words, not mine. False. Could that be the reason?
That was not the interpretation of the attorneys. And you know, court work, you can appeal those, Congressman, as you well know. I'm sure
Is it
they're...
all about politics, Governor?
No, it's about taking care of our people, which
Yeah, these
Minnesota does
programs
better
go
than
from
anyone
3
else.
million
What about the... Yeah,
the
they're
behavioral
people.
intervention program went from $3 million to $400 million in 5 years. The housing stabilization went from $2.6 million to $104 million. The integrated community supports went from $4.6 million.
I mean,
I bet if they try to put Walz in jail for treason and give him the death penalty, I bet that smug ass would open his trap way more. I bet he'd be shifting a lot of blame on a lot of other people. I guarantee you, he would open up, he would start singing like a songbird. Promise you he would.
obvious that like they massively increased it. They did. Oh, here's
everyone can virtue signal until the end of fucking time, but when the end of time is going to be forced upon you, man, it's crazy to see how low that flag gets, isn't it?
Since in your state under your law,
that signal get real quiet once you start doing that.
Signed about a year and a half ago.
Every day we give licenses and people speed. So we ticket them and try and stop that. What I'm telling you is I don't understand the connection between...
He's here illegally. He can't read, and he got a license under your provisions, and he's driving all...
I can't speak to this. Listen, I don't know. Oh, there's somebody... Wait a minute. There's an illegal alien that can't read...
You can't even say that this wasn't his doing. Tim Walz specifically signed a bill on camera of him signing a bill that allows anybody to get a license.
Driver's license? Where? I don't see it. I don't see it. Where? No, there's not.
Across the country, imperiling everybody else.
It's actually insane that they're doing this. Like, there should be, honestly, like, if you're driving around the whole country, there should be, like, federal, like, regulations for having a license, man.
I agree. I absolutely agree with that. If you have a CDL-style license, there should be federal regulations and tests that you have to do in order to drive out of state. 100%. Especially now with the national language being English, they need to make sure that shit is 100% in English. If you can't pass that test in English, you should not be able to attain a CDL license, and it should be backed by the United States federal government, and it should be forced in every state by the United States federal government. If anything, it would help, because for the most part, when you get your CDL, you have to take a separate course in order to drive cross-country. But if the federal government enforces its own program and forces these people to attain CDLs through an actual multi-state program, then you wouldn't have to take a separate CDL class. It would all be lumped into one. It would be cheaper and way more efficient.
Yeah, let me see if I can find a few more of these here too. And no, there's not this one. And there's this one too. Oh, here we go.
Transportation, 1/3 of Minnesota's non-domiciled commercial driver's licenses were issued illegally.
Wait, 1/3 of the licenses were illegal? What the fuck?
Legally. Do you have a video ready to play for me? Can you play it now?
What?
This is what happens, Mr. Governor. This is what happens.
How do you do that? How do you do it that wrong that much?
Happens when you issue driver's licenses to people illegally.
What the fuck is that? Hello? What is that? What's the dude doing? Rubbing his ass on the fucking mic? What is that?
He is on the northbound lanes of 61.
Oh, okay.
The wrong way. You can see I'm going southbound on 61. He's in the northbound.
That's right.
Lane.
You understand how fucking dangerous this is? He's on the interstate going the wrong motherfucking way. This isn't a normal fucking car, man. If you fuck up with these 18-wheelers, you could kill countless people. What the hell are you doing?
Great job. Like, let me see. Can I find that video? Where's that video? I don't know if I can find it. Oh, no.
I'm crossing over there, and thank God, I don't...
How do you do it that wrong that much? Can I find that video? I don't know if I...
61.
I'm crossing over there, and thank God, I don't know how much that thing weighs, 60, 80,000 pounds, 60 miles an hour.
18-wheeler.
Holy
You can
crap.
cut the video. He was licensed in your state under a law that you signed that precludes federal officials, your federal partners, as you call them, from determining whether they're here illegally. That guy that was driving that truck couldn't pass the test. He didn't pass the test out on the road. There's another video, I'm not going to play it, but there's another video of a guy here illegally turning a truck like that around in the middle of a highway where people lost their lives because they were decapitated when they went underneath.
We reacted to that, by the way. We reacted to that early last year. Sad shit, it really is. All because these people, like I said, these people in political power are playing a game, and you know whose lives it affects? Every single person that they're above. Everyone in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and then unfortunately the people that lost their lives in other states from this state giving them licenses. Whenever you are a sitting member of Congress or you're a sitting governor or you run a state like this, you have a lot more power than a lot of people want to give these governors or these politicians credit for. They have a lot of power. They can make a lot of change, good or bad, in their states. They just choose not to, or they choose to do what Tim Walz has done for his state. Like, I don't understand how it's gotten this bad. And you know what really makes my stomach turn? Is to think that there's a chance, the high chance, that Tim Walz won't see a goddamn day in jail for this. Not a single day.
So my question for you is, this should be easy.
Yep.
What are you going to do to rectify the law that you signed that allows people here illegally to get a CDL? That tape was in Missouri, not in your state. Look, if you don't want to protect...
See, this is not going to stop until you hold these people accountable for it. Like, he's the governor. Why not just hold him as an accessory for the people that got killed? Like, reckless endangerment, fucking... There's, like, probably 50 things you could charge this guy with, bro. Like, take him through the ringer. Take him through the ringer. Go all the way. The jail time. See, like, this is like, my opinion is that there are two ways to stop behavior: jail time and capital punishment.
Yep.
That's it.
Yes, sir.
Everything else doesn't stop.
If you hang one over the other, I guarantee you they're going to choose the other. I promise you.
Behavior. Those things stop behavior. So if you're not doing one of those two things, you might as well just not do anything at all.
Exactly. It's all pointless. You're trying to talk to this man like he's a fucking child, like he actually cares about what he's done. The entire time he's sat here, he's done nothing but deflect and look stupid. He's solved nothing. Just sitting here and talking to these people like they're in a dunce hat, sitting in a chair in the corner of a fucking classroom, does not fix this. It does not. They are adults now. They need to be held accountable for their own fucking actions. Put these people in jail, and if it was treason, put his ass in the chair.
The people in your state, I guess that's your business and the business of your voters. But that driver was
You want to sit here and bitch and complain about all these fucking, war is bad with the Iran war, and it's like, you don't want to talk about the genocide that the prior supreme leader did. You don't want to talk about, we can't just deport all these people. Well, obviously you can. It's working just fine so far. Like, there was a little pushback in Minneapolis, but that's over now. It's all gone. Like, why are we even doing this? It's fucking pointless if you're not going to hold these people accountable. You're band-aiding everything and you're not trying to solve the root of the cause. It's like cutting branches off of a tree and the goddamn thing just keeps growing more branches.
Yep.
And if he'd have hit a bunch of people, quite honestly, to me, you could have been held liable.
Yeah. Well,
you could have been. All right.
He should have been. He should be. If you pass a law like this in a state, as the governor, you should be held liable. Why shouldn't you? I don't see a reason for it.
Let's hear some more of that.
First of all, Minnesota ranks in the top 3 safest states by highway data. From
Yeah, but he was in Missouri, so, like, why would you even say that?
your own department.
It doesn't matter if most of the truckers that are causing the accidents, number one, have a Minnesota ID or license and are in other states causing this. No shit.
Highway data.
The data from the Department of Transportation
Yeah, right.
for highway safety. We have the third. We want everybody on our roads to be licensed.
So
and
are you
insured.
saying based on that you're okay?
I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with you or I speeding. I'm not okay with DUI.
But you signed this law.
It doesn't matter if you're okay with it or not. Here's how the system works. The taxpayers pay taxes to the federal government. The federal government, in line, makes sure that the states are doing what they're supposed to fucking be doing, which is following federal regulations and laws. And in return, the federal government feeds the states money that they can use for infrastructure, DMV properties, and stuff like that. It doesn't matter what you think and feel. Just shut the fuck up, put the fries in the bag, and do your fucking job instead of getting Americans killed, asshole. Do your job. You have one job. And instead of taking vacations and being all everywhere but in your own fucking state, you're out here getting Americans killed because you're allowing these people to get like IDs and CDL licenses that are getting people killed all across the country. And then now we've got fucking poor people and kids that can't get welfare because the fraud that was going on in your own state was so bad they had to cut it off. But it's everybody else's fault, right?
For that.
I think it's a very simple question. How is it that giving illegal aliens that can't read English, how does that make the road safer? Does that make the road more or less safe? Like, that's really the question you should be asking.
And you're going to do nothing about it?
I can't speak to the specific on the CDL. What I can tell you is
I referenced your law. It says House of
Oh my God, they got the bill he signed. You see, like, we saw a video of him signing a bill like that. I think it was sometime last year, so I know it exists. I just don't know where the video is. But I know he signed it.
State of Minnesota.
He was so proud in front of the media, too. He was signing that bill. He's holding it up with a big old smile on his face.
There's a lot of words here.
Case. I just know our roads are safer.
Exactly the sections that allow for this to happen and preclude federal enforcement regarding immigration and the illegality of people receiving CDLs under your state's
Driver
provisions.
safety and immigration are two separate things. Anybody had that?
No, they're not. Like, not if you let them get in without the immigration papers and then you let them become drivers. Yeah, no, it's not two separate things. And also keep in mind that this is also another tool that they use in order to legitimize illegals, because a driver's license in a lot of cases is used as primary documentation.
It is. You use it to get welfare. That's what I was saying last year, too. It's a lot of these people that are here illegally like that. A lot of the states, what are they called? They have a name for them. Sanctuary cities. They have laws that they put into place that allow just about anybody to get an ID. And using that ID, they're able to siphon money from the government through welfare system and programs. So, like, that's where all of this is stemming from right here is, of course, they want these people to get IDs because it's a form of United States citizenship. Like, it's all a big circle. It is. It's a massive circle.
Signing up for a lot of different things on the internet. You guys know this. How many people have ever taken a photo of their driver's license or something like that? It's extremely common. So now this is the same thing that he's doing, is he's trying to invent this narrative so he can justify doing this.
I've been a citizen or not, it's still tragic, it's wrong, we shouldn't do it. What I'm telling you is in Minnesota, we have the third safest roads in the country.
So you're good. You're good with this practice.
I'm not good with that.
Well, what are you good with? Because that's what's happening under your law.
Well, I can't speak to the specific on if it's an outlier. We give license to people who then eventually, people get DUIs after we issue them.
That happened last month. This is March. That happened a week and a half ago.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know.
Familiar.
That's wrong. And look,
but you're not going to do anything.
So he's still passing shit. He's still passing more shit to try to solidify what he's doing. That goes right back to what I was saying. The guy has no remorse for what's going on in his own state. He's going to use whatever he can as a stepping ladder to try and condemn the federal government for ICE and cutting off the welfare programs with no general remorse of what he's doing to his own state.
We're going to do
what are you going to do?
Traffic laws against them.
What are we going to do?
There's a traffic law against them. Oh my God. So then if there's traffic laws against it, why do we arrest people for DUIs? Why do we take people's licenses away whenever they get a DUI if there's traffic laws against driving drunk? Like, this is the type of, like, oh my God.
Is this person arrested?
How can somebody think like this?
I sure hope so.
Well, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
And but he was licensed in your state under law that you signed about a year and a half ago.
Every day you give.
Yeah, so no, I was right. That was last year. So it's the same document. Why the fuck did he bring this up a week ago then?
licenses and people speed. So we ticket them and try and stop that. What I'm telling you is I don't understand the connection between...
He's here illegally. He can't read, and he got a license under your provision.
To give you an idea, these are the same cities that are arresting these illegals and releasing them back onto the streets. So that way they don't get deported, right? I mean, it's been all over Fox News, been all over CNN, been all over a bunch of places. That's what they do. So who's to say they're not cooking the books on their roads, their safety on the roads in Minnesota? They've cooked the books on everything else so far that we've seen, allegedly. Who's to say they're not cooking the books with this as well? Like, that's what we should be really thinking about here. It's like, well, it's the safest in the da-da-da-da-da. And it's like, okay, well, here's the thing. We're not talking about that. We're talking about this. And if this is also false, what else is false? What else have you made up in order to cover your own ass? Like, where does this end?
And he's driving all across the country, imperiling everybody else. That's the connection.
I can't speak.
Thank you.
The data shows Minnesota is one of the...
The data shows... This is the reason why they try to capture educational and research institutions, is so they can selectively create data in order to justify their behavior. So obviously, I mean, you don't need to have it. Like, if the data shows that illegal aliens don't make the roads more unsafe, then the data collection method is wrong. It is. Everybody knows this. We all know this. But for some reason, people like to play games with this. It's so obvious what's going on. He's getting balder by the day. He is.
Safest driving states in the country. I don't know what to tell you.
And other states driving apparently.
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
Thank you, Mr. Perry. Chair now recognize Mr. Min.
Yeah, thank God. And I'll see if there's any more of these that are worth looking at. But yeah, overall, what are you... No. Oh, God.
What is a woman? Have you learned that lesson? Do you know what a woman is?
I love that they do this. I'm sorry. I love that these people do this. It's kind of like that connection to the earth, like people saying that the earth is flat. How many of you, if you know somebody that's like this, unfortunately for you, I'm so sorry for your loss, that think that the earth is flat and you can't take them serious with anything? It's the same principle. It's just applied differently. If you are trying to talk to somebody and they sound a little off and then they say, well, you know, with the earth being flat and such, you immediately are like, oh, I'm good. It's the same logic and principle. It is.
I'm the governor of Minnesota, Congressman.
you know what a
I'm not
woman
here
is?
to be your prop for your...
I feel like this should be like an automatic disqualifier for anything. If you can't identify what a woman is, you are not fit to be in public office making decisions for anybody.
You're not fit for anything. If you can't identify what a woman is in court, you shouldn't hold any kind of license, period. You should be working at Walmart. You should. You shouldn't be an accredited doctor. You shouldn't be in the medical field, period. Because you're disregarding everything you learned in college to push an idealistic goal. And by that means, you need to be stripped of every single certification and license you got, and you need to be removed from your position, period. You can't have somebody that believes in flat earth as a fucking scientist for the earth. It's probably not going to go very well, huh?
Like, just straight up. Like, anybody who's not able to just instantly make that distinction, that is a person that cannot be trusted. And I want to explain the reason why. It's something that's like...
They're willing to lie to push a narrative goal. They know what it is, but they're willing to lie in order to push a goal. You can't have somebody like that making decisions on someone's life because they're going to choose the needs of the mentality of the many instead of the needs. The mentality, even though sometimes whenever you're forced to do something, it may not always be what you would find right. But, you know, I'd much rather be vaccinated for polio than to fucking get polio. I don't want to be in an iron lung. Sorry. Fuck that. Having no access to your ability to move, being forced to sit in front of a screen and shit in a tube all day, doesn't sound very fun to me. I think I'll take the vaccine over polio any day.
It's a judgment frame of reference. And let me explain what I mean by that. So there's a lot of people who effectively believe things that are silly, but there is a threshold to where if a person believes something that is so disconnected, so delusional, and so out of left field that it causes you to question their entire judgment facilities. I'll give you an example. The flat earth. I think that, how many of you guys, the moment that you heard that a person is a flat earther, you would immediately disregard pretty much anything and everything that they would say because you think this person is an unstable retard. Right? Like, that's what I would do.
He hit the nail on the head. He did.
Would definitely do that. And so, yes, exactly. But like, and so I think this should be treated the same way. But like, what really reference does that? What does flat earth have to do with, like,
the issue is this is what it looks like when the flat earthers went to college and graduated and now hold a science degree and are trying to push and cook the books to make it look like Earth is flat. That's the difference. That's the big difference here, is that these people have become in political power or come across money to put them in some form of power over other people's lives and decisions based on it's supposed to be based on their professional opinions. But the issue is that they're throwing their professional opinions in the garbage along with their college degrees and going based on their ideology and those opinions, and they're getting people hurt and killed. And that's the problem.
Like economic theory. What does it have to do with like driver's licenses? It has nothing to do with it, but it has everything to do with it. Because if a person cannot be trusted to be able to understand that the earth is round, how can you possibly trust their judgment on anything else? It's too dangerous. And I think that the what is a woman question is the same thing. If a person can't do that and they can't immediately come to that conclusion, their judgment is fundamentally impaired. And it is impaired to a degree that they cannot be trusted to make decisions for other people.
Yep.
And there's some people that would even argue that they can't be trusted to make decisions even for themselves. So that's the reason why it's so important.
Session.
So
I
if you
taught middle
can't
school your
define what a
obsession.
woman is, you certainly can't define what fraud is. If you can't even define what a woman is, you can't define fraud. How much money was spent on autism in Minnesota in 2017, Governor?
I don't have those numbers in front of me, Congresswoman.
Did you prepare for this
We've
hearing?
seen this already. Yeah, I've already seen this. But yeah, there it is,
Exactly.
right? And so anybody who can't answer that question, in my opinion, is completely compromised. It's totally compromised. They are totally compromised. They're not.
No, they're not. I mean, even if they know what a woman is and they're not saying it, you are enforcing a level of dishonesty that is detrimental to America. You are. You're hurting American citizens. You're hurting people. You're hurting kids that are being forced to transition as children of all fucking things. You are hurting everybody when you say something like this in a political stand, in a high political power like this as lawmakers on Capitol Hill. You are hurting every single American because they're expecting you to be the professionals. They're expecting to know for you to know what is good and what is not. They're expecting you to make the hard decisions, and you can't even come to terms with that long enough to tell the truth in court. No, bro.